Hello guys, very good evening. Today is January 10th, the day the Bitcoin ETFs were approved. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings, guys. Going to be quick today. I have to run somewhere, so I'm going to make a quick video, upload it. I will also post the screenshots of the trades on my Twitter ID later. But let me start with the audio with this YouTube recap. All right, guys, anybody who's new to this video, new to me, this is my recaps of my time-stamped guidance, my ideas, my alerts in my community, and of course anything I share on Twitter. This is what I recap, which were our trade ideas and what did we trade, what were others trading in our community, and how did we do. And every morning I wake up 1 hour before the market opens. I go through various news sources in my community. What you see on left side is just my commentary from my community, and there's I go through all the news sources. That's what you see here. News sources 1, 2, 3, 4, downgrades, upgrades, and then I create my watch list, which you see here, and we will go through the watch list. So I have a news plays, I have a market plays, and we also keep eyes on the market indicators. I'm voice on first few hours and guiding everybody through the trades. I'm sharing my screen live stream, showing the charts and going through everything. And I also make levels for everybody so that they could trade those levels. And this is the levels, guys. Quickly you can take a screenshot and you see how these levels worked out. Most of these levels were spot on. If you look at SMCI, resistance pivot, you look at Tesla, you look at AMD. So we'll talk about those plays, right? How we were long a certain place and how we were short a certain place, why we were not long AMD or Tesla, and why we were long on Meta and all that. So we'll talk about it. We will talk about the A plus setup that was Meta today and the reason it was an A plus setup. So we will discuss all that. And since I have to do it quick, let's start with the first. So I'm going to start with SPY today, guys. So what was the personality on SPY today? SPY this morning when we started, it was a flat. And remember, guys, anybody new here, we do this repeatable. Everything I do is a repeatable setup, repeatable strategy that we repeat again and again. Market has a personality, 4 or 5 personalities. Those show up again and again. And whatever personality we are looking in the market, we trade accordingly at that personality. So what was the personality of SPY this morning? SPY was flat. It was a little down. And right away at the open, SPY was strong out of the gate. That's when I said on the voice that we can long scalp it, right? There was a first big move. So today, important thing to learn today is, guys, there was a first big move. If you're long at that first big move, you have to take the profits, and if you chase the first big move, which I will talk about it, then you can't panic and sell. So I said SPY is long. You see the SPY is long on the first candle, but you see this candle coming down, amateur move, and then comes the trend move, the what I cover in my webinars. So then comes the trend move. And talking about webinars, guys, just want to quickly tell, tomorrow I'm doing a show, small account webinar, how to grow a small account. Just let me show you guys quickly. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm doing a small account webinar. So if you want to join the webinar, join our community, and we will go through how to grow the small account. I will cover everything, so just wanted to point that out while I'm talking about the webinars. Anyway, so I was saying how I cover amateur moves and the trend moves in my webinar. This was the amateur move, right? So if you are long here, that is fine. But if you are long here in the first, either you are long in first 5 minutes or you wait for the trend. And then the pullback happened, right? Same for QQQ, a pullback happened. Then what happened? I just taught you in yesterday's video. What was it? 10 a.m. concept. The reversal came at 10 a.m. Reversal came at 10 a.m. An amateur trader who's panicking, who doesn't know the system, who does not trade with the system, or who is sizing crazy, he would have stopped out here and went home with the loss. He would have stopped out here and went for the loss. Not in my community, because we do it repeatable. That's what I was shouting on the voice, that if we hold the pre-market lows, we are going to bounce and if it's a 10 a.m. we will see a reversal, and you will see in my other trades which I'll share. But talking about SPY QQQ, that's what I gave, so let's see. So right out of the gate strong, right? So 475 was key, and 475 did not hold. But then look what happened after 10 a.m. right? After 10 a.m. this reversed, and QQQ reversed. At 10 a.m. it started to find a trend, and SPY and QQQ both became bullish after 10 a.m. So that's what I was saying. I did tell everybody, do not short the market today, right? Do not try to short the market. I clearly told everyone today was not the day to short the market, right? Look where the market went. And let me show you what SPY did. I did scalp as B minus short later in the day. If you want to go and see in the SPX and the SPY room, made nice little 60, 100% actually, because SPY was reaching this resistance, right? This resistance, guys, look at your monthly candle. This was the resistance. And tomorrow it's a nice breakout setup. We'll see what CPI does. If CPI is bullish for the market, we break out and we long. But if it fails, we have a clear level to short or trade short. So we are not biased. We'll go what gives us tomorrow. Ideally, I want to see a breakout. I don't really want to see a crazy gap up because it spoils the setup for me. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. But anyways, guys, the point is my guidance on SPY QQQ, we were not short. Yes, we got that pullback, but remember, it was still over the EMA Clouds. It was still over the 3450 EMA Clouds. QQQ dipped under 3450 EMA Clouds, but it never broke the pre-market lows. What are the concepts I teach you guys again and again? Pre-market lows, pre-market highs, yesterday lows, yesterday highs, and the QQQ held, and that was the signal. It was going long. And we'll go through the individual stocks. We'll talk about them. We'll go through them one on one, and you will see how those kind of worked out, right? So yes, so this was a quick overview of SPY and QQQ, guys. Very bullish today all day. And now let's go to our stock trades. I'm just first going to talk about Apple. The reason I'm going to talk about Apple is because I did not day trade Apple, right? And I was, I gave this, swing to everybody, even on Twitter, and we are in Tenet community as well. We are swinging it. The plan of the swing was the chart I showed you yesterday was we were this clear risk, right? When you're trading or investing, your first focus is to find your repeatable risk level. You find your risk level. So our risk was 180. So $2 risk, and I'm already up $4. I risked one. I'm already double, my risk. And but I'm looking for 3 times my risk. My target is 188. So all day today, even though it was bearish, it was bearish, but I was not day trading it long. I was not interested to day trade long because it was under the clouds. And yes, why was a holding swing? Because it was holding the 1 hour chart. 1 hour was bullish around the EMA Clouds, and it, my stops were still, lower. So yes, I was holding my swing, still holding my swing. Lot of traders wanted to take profit. It's up to them. The really nice move, nice winner so far. You want to take profits tomorrow, up to you. I want to see a bigger move, but another big easy stress-free trade for community, my followers, for everyone. Let's go to the next. So guys, next one we are going to talk about is Meta. So Meta, guys, first of all, what were my pivot levels, right? So let's go back and quickly look at those pivot levels if I can show you. All right. So talking about Meta, guys, so what was our pivot level on Meta today? Pivot level was 359 and 361. 359.60, 361. So 361 pivot level gone, 361 gone. What was the daily chart telling me? Daily chart on Meta was telling me, and so daily chart on Meta was telling me, what was it telling me? It was a daily breakout, guys. That's why it's an A+ setup, because 10-minute is bullish, 1 hour is bullish, daily is a breakout, A+. There's nothing bearish about this chart. You just have to find an entry. If you can't make money on this move on Meta, then there's a problem with your trading, your sizing. If you think you cannot chase, then you need to be ready at the market open. The pivot levels I provide everybody at open. We keep eyes on everything. We keep eyes on everything. What is moving, what is not moving. So we need to be ready when things are moving here. So let's see, if I can show you you can see my all day guidance. I started from the morning on the meta, giving my 370 targets, and 370 calls started to came in. That's when I gave it 370 target, and then meta was flagging here. It was flagging some, so some trader who added here because I said 370 is the target, and he FOMO'd and he added, but he started to panic on this pullback. Look at the 10-minute trend. It's still in the trend. It's your problem if you added highs, right? It pulled back. Let's say you added here, it pulled back and you chickened out and you stopped out and moved on. And what happened? It went on to run $3 more, right? My 370 target was on spot on. I even got more than my 300 targets. A plus setup, we were watching the option flow as well. We know it's bullish, it's flagging. You clearly know that if this flag holds, okay, you missed here, that's fine. You trade this flag. You clearly know your risk is 365. You see the buyer is here. You buy here, starter, add into the breakout, trade to the 370. Beautiful, beautiful trade all day. Other thing, if you were long meta and you took profits here and ran away, and then you miss the whole big move, you cannot. You have to hold the trend. That's why I say scale out, right? Even if you started trading here, wait, take a half hour at 370, leave the rest. It's a simple rule, guys, you have to follow. When 512 EM is hold, you hold. That's a simple rule that needs to be followed. You can see my time-stamped guidance all day. Here, I started telling about it from the morning, since the call flow coming in. I gave you the pivots, I gave everything and all the guidance all day. So, if somebody can't even make a profit on that, then there's a problem, right? And again, I tell everybody, it's not about the alerts. I'm seeing so much improvement in my students over the years. I have made thousands of consistent traders because they believe in themselves. They execute themselves. The best trader today was one who was in meta before me, right? And of course, I'm guiding. He's using my guidance to learn, right? I guided from morning 362 to all the way to 372, $10 a share. But unless and until you build this confidence to be in this play before even rip is there, it's not going to work. And if you just go into FOMO, it's not going to work. Yes, I'm happy. A lot of people made money in the community. Only I think 13% or something were red, or 14%, I don't know. Very few people were red in the community, and a lot of them were those who longed, bailed, and the stocks were still green. The funny thing is, few people are red on the stock which is up, which made a high of the day by end of the day. So that is ironic, right? You were long something and you lost, but the stock is all green till end of the day. Means your execution was wrong. Reduce the size, forget to making money, focus on trying to have a good execution. Take 20 trades, do 10 good trades. Even if it's one share, one contract, does not matter. Fix your mentality. You need to ride the all day trend. The days like today does not happen every day. When days like today come, you need to be ready. Wake up pre-market with me, 6:30, be ready, watch the pivots, take your 1 or 2 stocks, long them, do whatever you like, take that stock and execute. And execution, conviction will help you to do a better trades. All right, guys, just wanted to cover this meta because it was very good trade today, and there were few people who still couldn't make money, and most of them did. So I just wanted to do that. And of course, I have my guidance step by step, hand holding on this trade all day, but I still want people to have the confidence in them, because I won't be here always, guys. You have to find your strength. All right, guys, beautiful trade on meta, huge big win. Let's go to the next. All right, guys, the next one we are quickly going to look at is Boeing. So here's my time-stamped all comments on Boeing. Boeing was a day 3 watch. I even gave it in the pre-market, my news plays. Boeing, I gave them, everybody. I added the long right here. You see, starter, simple. I did not panic on this pullback. People panic. I was telling them, do not panic. If you panic, you get out. And it pulled back to EMA Clouds, and it rode all day to 231. I added 227. I sold over 230. So that was the trade, guys. That was the trade. It broke 512. You take profit. You get out. And you can see what I said. I'm going to hold. I said that at 1040, right here. and you follow your own plan. I said that, and then boom, there's a flag breakout, step-by-step guidance. Beautiful trade, guys. What was the setup? It was a day 3 setup. It's the first time it was over the clouds. First time. I'm not dreaming, or I just woke up, oh, I like Boeing, there's a good news. No. I like my system telling me that today it's bullish. If it works, it works. If it does not work, it does not work. So Boeing, big win today. Beautiful move. Very proud of this one. All right, let's look quickly at the Microsoft, guys. So Microsoft was again over the pivots. What was the pivots? I don't want to go through each of the pivots. You already know the pivots are working. I told you to timestamp it and take a look, but I will go quickly. The Microsoft pivot was 377, 378.20, and look what Microsoft did. Microsoft broke all those pivots and was bullish right out of the gate. I told everybody in the morning that Microsoft, Google, Meta, all are bullish right at open. So I gave that I gave that idea right at open, and I told people to hold it. I told it still bullish. I told them to take some profit at 382, and it held 512. By end of the day, Microsoft hit 384, guys, right? So and this was the trade. Easy trade. Again, everything was provided, pivots, levels, guidance. It's a recipe to success. Days like today, that's when you need to make big winners, so that 1 or 2 red days don't matter. You have a good week. All right, guys, let's look at Google. So Google moved with the market, right? So market pushed in the morning, and then it pulled back, and Google pulled back as well. So let's see how two traders would have traded. An amateur trader would have seen the push. He would have added at the top, and when it pulled back, he would have taken a loss and moved on. But what does system say? System says it held the trend. System says risk was under the clouds. System says that you should not have got out, that your entry is wrong. What did I say? Right? When it dipped here, look at the time, 10 a.m. That's when I said versus 141 is a good idea with the market bounce. And market bounced, and Google pushed from that 141 risk. It pushed $1, and I said, lock half, leave the rest. Because when you lock the half and move the stop stress to the break even, you made $1 on that one half, and then you made another $1 on the rest of the half, more than $1. So from versus the 141 risk, I took you all the way to 143 just with the system. No any gut feeling, no any blind. I explained the reasoning. So Google, beautiful trade. I was pretty proud of trader who pinged me, who really made like a 5-figure day on Google. We don't share a P&L, so I don't let anybody share the P&Ls, but very proud of that trader today. All right, let's look at NVIDIA. So what was NVIDIA? I said check the levels. I kept saying check the levels on NVIDIA. I gave the pivot levels on NVIDIA. I'll post that later, but what did I see? I saw that, I was on the voice, I saw that NVIDIA was holding. People wanted to long it. So my community wanted to long it. I said it is still okay. You can use the 530 stops. You see, 535 stops. When did I say that? I said at 10 a.m. because I saw higher highs, higher lows. Higher lows, it's a bullish trend. It's over the EMA cloud. Trend is bullish. Do not trade smaller time frame, guys. 3 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute does not matter. Trade higher time frames. That's the only way you will see the real trend. You will find the success. Right, so what did NVIDIA do there? Since I said that have the stops 535, NVIDIA went all the way to 544. Then there were some 500C calls coming in. I told people that 550C is coming in. Even I traded that 550Cs, and then that pushed again to 546.26. Right, so from 540 to 546, 6 points there, and then it came back, broke 532. Right, when it does that, you have to get out. That's fine. Yes, if you are swinging from 500, you hold it. But the point is, it was a good trade. Now, if you added at the top, let's say you added this flag break, right? Let's say you added this flag break. You want to trade the flag break. When the stock pushes a decent size, maybe you're in options, then you need to take some off, right? And then leave rest break even. And when you see, it's breaking down, you get the rest of out break even, or you get out at the 512. Keep your losers minimal, right? But the best trade on NVIDIA was not this. You were supposed to add starter here, right here, and then add more here, and then trade it. So that was NVIDIA, guys. Proper guidance again. All right, guys, PANW, big winner today. You know why I'm proud of this one? Repeatable setup. Two concepts, psychological number, 300 psychological number. That's why I was focused on PNW. Look at it. I told everybody in the pre-market, I said you can do the starter, add more on the pullback, and I said you can add little more on the pullback. When it pulled back, market was a little heavy. I reduced the size because just managing the risk. When it bounced, market bounced, I added back. Good bounce with the market. Then my first target was 310. Then my next target was 315, 313 and 315. Met both the targets. My next target is 318. Right? Maybe we made it tomorrow. I just have left some because it closed at highs and over the 300. It's a really beautiful move, and tomorrow it can break out of 318.60. Then it's going to go more higher. So you can see the timestamp guidance I told everybody to add starter right in the morning. This even 310 calls were up 200% today. So just crazy. All right, guys, let's look at HD quickly. So what was Home Depot? Home Depot had a news. I gave everybody the plan in the pre-market. If you want to go to the news, I can go here. Let's look at HD plan quickly. Where is HD? Where is HD? Here you go, HD, right? Positive upgrade. The pivots are 350, 66, 354, 92. If it holds the clouds, long over pivot, right? So what did HD do? Let's look at HD guidance. HD was another one that, I said long it at the open and it held the trend, and HD went all the way from 350, the pivots I gave, all the way to 356. Big, beautiful trade, beautiful setup. Look at this daily breakout. I mean, can't get better than this. Beautiful trade on HD. I took profits early, most of it, because so many plays, guys. I can't trade all of them, but yes, HD and PNW was my big main winners today, and it's still good for tomorrow. So HD was a beautiful trade because we were ready in the pre-market. We wake up 1 hour before the pre-market. We get ready. We know what is the news. I give the plan pre-market. So let's look at ISRG. This was another idea that, I was a news play. I was bullish. I added at the open and then it pushed higher. And I was cautious because of the market. So I got out, because of the market. And of course, we were winning in so many plays and everything else. But look at what it did afterwards. I think some of my community members still had it. It went from 350 to 364, right? So look at my morning buys and look at if you traded it, right? Of course, it held 34.50. I could have entered again. Actually, I saw this and I was going to update. The community on this flag reversal, and I think a lot of people did get it. They were on top of it. And when I was about to do it, somebody on the community started to DM me, and I got busy with him trying to help him out. So I missed this reversal. But look at the beautiful setup. Again, daily chart was A plus breakout. Guys, how many plays were there today? You clearly see my guidance, and you clearly, any of these plays we could have done good, but not complaining, did really good. But just wanted to point out that some things like that happen. You have to get out. You can see me, I don't hide anything. If I'm out, I'm out. That's what I said, right? But it moved, beautiful move. All right, guys, I'm going to cover AMD and Tesla together because the teachings on AMD and Tesla are same. Under the clouds, bearish. Under the pivots, bearish. Look at the pivots. What was Tesla? 235 support, 236 resistance. AMD was 149 support, 150 resistance. AMD under 150. No long. I said right at open, avoid the longs. Good shorts. People shorted it in the community. Very happy with them. Very proud of them. Eddie got 40% on AMD short. Very proud of them. Guys, this is the beauty for a community. I'm not telling them my traders to just go buy this option, buy that. I guide them what's happening. I predict the move based upon a calculated system, and that's why my community is the best out there. I have no doubt about that. But anyways, guys, and then the same thing on Tesla. Today was not the day to long Tesla. Broke the pivots, bearish. No, nothing to do. Anyways, going to move to the next one. So and SMCI, so the thing was SMCI was, it was initially a long, right, over the pivots. So long kind of a failed, but when it breaked out, it was long was a loser, and that's when I said on the voice, you can short under the pivot, and then the short gave much more of 10 points. What were my pivots? And don't shy away. I clearly said that SMCI can be good short today, so do not shy away. We lost on the long side, but if when the pivot breaks under the cloud, it's a short, right? So SMCI was a long loser and short winner. Similar review is on this one. I didn't trade, it's TOST, right? So today, the idea is simple. If it's over the EMA clouds, we long it, right? If it's under the EMA clouds, we short it. So I said it's bullish bias. Ideally, I should have it's bullish to neutral, because even if I'm bullish bias means if it's holding over the first candle swiped right under. So if I was trading this, I would have shorted it, right? So it was a losing idea, because I mentioned bullish bias, but ideally, if you go see my old videos, it was bullish bias if EMA clouds hold, right? So you have to wait for them to hold, right? You cannot, if the first candle is just so bearish, then you have to be cautious. You can't just go long right away. If I was trading this, I would have guided this, and I would have told everybody how to long or short, but this was a long loser idea, and you should have shorted it to make your money back. We have done this a lot of times. Change buy. So let's look at coin, guys. Coin initially I didn't do anything, but when coin was coming over 150 psychological level, I told everybody that you can long the coin. Watch this 148 level as your risk, and this is, I said, here you go. I said 150 breaks, hold these clouds, can scalp long. Watch these pullbacks for the scalp, and it held the cloud, and then it pushed to the 153, and when it breaks down, I had no interest in holding it through the approval, but it was a decent scalp, coin scalp, scalp trade was there. So let's look at this U. U was not my personal trade, guys, but what U was our repeatable setup of day 2, right? So I said in the morning it's a day 2 setup. I forgot to put it in my pre-market watch list, but I was still watching it. My traders who know my teachings, they were trading it, so that's why I was so proud of you. And turn the EMA cloud, it's bullish, you risk here at 36 and you trade it long. It was such a good move, covered almost yesterday's price action, hit that level at 39, guys. So this was a beautiful day to repeatable setup. These are the setups you have to be find, and I'm so proud of the traders who found these setups themselves. I mentioned it 20 minutes after market open. I mentioned it here, but they were in it before me, right? So I mentioned it right here at 36.40 because it broke out of this pivot, right? And they were long. So beautiful call outs on you. Look at this on trading floor. Ambience was on it, Eddie was on it, just beautiful. That's the beauty of our community, guys. So all right, guys, that's it for today. Look at my pivots and see how other trades are done. And of course, if you want to trade with me, trade with our community, we have so many tools in our community. We have bots, we have news alerts, we have audio alerts, resistance pivots, unusual flow, scanner. Come anytime. We treat everybody like a family. Come to learn, trade. Do not come for alerts. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.